What are these called? Duck lips?
Lips.
The Thiz face. Remember the Thiz face? Coming.
No,
Crickets. What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I am one of your co-hosts, David, and we're coming at you from our studio here in the weather is so nice outside Las Vegas, Nevada. Daily only on the weekdays live shows. Before I get into the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please, as always, do your own research. Speaking of content, today, Quant is blowing up. Why? We'll talk about that. We'll have an in-depth analysis from our man Forrest. Also, is Bitcoin mining in danger? Is the network at risk? We'll talk about that. And the Lightning Network went down. Also, Europe is looking to monitor ETH in DeFi. How are they looking to do it? We'll talk about that and much, much more. But before we can talk about that and much, much more, I have to unfortunately introduce you to your other co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we elbow drop it from the top rope. Now, if it's your first time checking us out,
You already said
do us
that?
a favor. No, I'm using the same intro for the second premise.
My bad.
Subscribe. If you don't like the channel, you can unsubscribe. And also do us a favor. We would appreciate a like. Hit the like button. How many likes we got?
9.
Just checking. We're doing all right on the likes. Let's get some more on there, though. And then when we reach 100
25.
people,
125.
we're going to open up the club.
125.
It's 100.
125.
All right? We ain't got no guests up in here padding the stats. All right? Look, we get to 100, we're going to open up this damn club. And you know who's gonna be dancing up in here? Not only just your ugly ass dance moves, David, but we also got Jason in the house. What's up, Jason? Hey, you might know him as Jason Squires in the chat.
JS?
You can put a face to him. Now, I'm excited, bro.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's down, but I'm not, because your boy's amped up, baby. Let's go. Let's get into a roll call so that way we can get into this. So roll call. So first up in the chat today, we have Marky Mark, and then Robert Salazar, Liquidated Shorts, Bino, Crypto and Yogurt, Destroyer, Jamie from Lifer's channel is back up in here. Good to see you. We also got, as we mentioned, Jason up in here as well. Vegas Freeballer. And then Shizzy, Redman, Brokioshi, Salvatore Militiano, Lala, and
He's never going to get that name right.
and then 151 Crypto, Big Chili Willy, Enzo, and HP, and Why You Loud Gang, Nordy, and I think that about rounds it out. Servando. Yeah, there you go. We also we have Randy Neck up in here. So
Randy what?
Randy Neck.
Randy Neck.
Yeah. I don't know if he's ever been here.
Wait.
Was he here from Lifers? Anyways, Randy. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. And
Randy Neck.
what you laughing at? How you doing, David?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
Guess what, guys?
Redman, yeah. We met Redman in person.
Yeah, at the NFT convention.
We also met Luis in person. As well.
We have a little coverage from that. We'll probably show you tomorrow. We're still in the post-production side of that. And we have some specific content that focuses on Cardano NFTs in a standalone video that will also be airing this week as well. And then we're putting the final touches on our street interviews. So a lot of content to come. You'll only know about this content if you have the notification bell checked, or unless you're on our homepage hitting the refresh button constantly. So,
I'd recommend the former.
yeah, there you go. And then a lot of big news today. A lot of big news. Man, it's a juicy day in crypto.
Yeah. Right. You know, so what was your biggest takeaway from the Cardano NFTs, or something you kind of hung your hat on, or really enjoyed? Or
so I might get some pushback for this one. But Cardano community, they're a little older.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you go to the other NFT conventions, you go to the other
I would have probably
the other
used
community
the one,
members.
I would have probably used the word more like they're more matured.
They're you know, and you get a lot of like little youngins up in there, a little you know, fresh 20-year-olds at these other conventions, these other, especially yeah, man, they're wiser. I'll put it that way. But you know what they say, wine ages with.
That's not the same. Yeah, what are you talking about, dude? What is?
No, you know what? A lot of fun. Honest, that's mostly a joke. There was actually this is actually pretty trendy. A lot of music. They had.
It was not like any other NFT convention that I've been to. It was big. Yeah. It was well put together. It had a lot of booths. And real quick, Michael Miller said, "What's this quant news?" We're getting into that here in probably about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, for me, it was meeting this dude right here, the man, Big Charles, such a cool guy. He, so you see his rants on Twitter. He goes after, you know, Solana and this and that, and he is just like that in person. I mean, he was giving a speech on the stage with the robot thing. We posted that as a short, and he made a snip. He made a snip at Solana. Something about what were they doing, Rocco? The robot wasn't talking or had said it had a malfunction, and Charles on stage goes, it was probably running on the Solana network. So super cool guy. We're doing our best to try to get Charles in on the show. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you know, a couple weeks ago, I decided to go get a new cell phone. And the reason I got a new cell phone was because I was like, you know what? If we don't have our high production camera out here while we're out filming, you know, it's okay because, you know, I'll buy the newest and greatest iPhone camera. And after taking a picture of like, hey, David, take my camera. It's like, no, I got this. I'm doing my phone.
Is that what you were doing?
Phone. Yeah, my phone. And then lo and behold, you take a picture, pull that picture back up. Pull that, Rocco, pull this picture back.
I actually fixed the lighting. The lighting was terrible. We should have flipped the other way.
You should have let me use my new phone. That's the whole reason. I literally told you. I was like, David, I'm buying the new iPhone, so that way if we need to film something or get a picture at a convention, last second, we got a high-quality camera with good resolution, and lo and behold, you bring out the iPhone 10 or whatever model you have, and you messed up the lighting.
I have an 11. Thank you.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, dude? Are you on mute? I'm hoping you're on mute. Oh, you're not on mute. Oh, you are on mute. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you don't need to repeat what he says.
That is David's phone is so old that he brings it to Home Depot to fix it.
Rocco, you're getting on my bad side here. All right, Robin, let's not waste any time.
Rocco's sense of humor is stale, but it's funny. It's like
he's got that Italian sense of humor. Shout out to all my Italians. All right, go ahead, Robert.
Is it on me now?
Let's get into it.
All right, let's get this thing going. All right, so we got Bitcoin coming in at $19,239. And so we flirted with the 20K support line. And just like me in my adolescent days, we got rejected. And now we are under 20K and moving down closer and closer to the $18,000 mark. What's your vibe there, David? Do you think we're gonna hold 19K, or do you think we're going lower?
Well, here's
look at this 1 month chart. This thing is ugly.
So so if this plays out, it would be pretty bullish. So I'm gonna pull up. I have a chart on Bitcoin here, and we got some news on Bitcoin mining that might kind of worried me a little bit, but we'll talk about that now. If this plays out, okay, so this would be a massive ascending triangle, which is an extremely bullish pattern. This is on the 1 hour chart on Bitcoin. But what we need is, so we drop below this uptrending trend line, the lower part of the triangle, and we're kind of sitting there right now. But good news, we got a nice big green candle forming on the hour, and we have about 16 minutes left. What I like to see, happen is for us to move back into this pattern. If we move back into this pattern, then in the very short term, I would expect us to test 20,400 again, or at least get to this last local high we had, which was 20,000 flat. And so that's about a $800 move to the upside. If we do that and we get back into this pattern, super bullish in the micro. And I would expect, if that were to happen in the short term, I would expect this move to be when we break out of it, to be a 7 to 8% move, which if we broke out, it doesn't matter where we break out, but if we broke out, you're looking at 7, 8%. You're looking at a price of about 2 seconds, you guys. So if I do the measured move here, we take the width of this triangle and we measure 7 to 8% to the upside. We're looking at anywhere between a $21,900 Bitcoin down to up to a $22,100 Bitcoin. So that's in the short term. As far as in the long term, if we swap over to the daily, we shrink this sucker down. And what I like to do is I like to throw my Ichimoku cloud on. And this could kind of be in the long term as well, kind of a bull flag as well. And we might be breaking out of it right now, but we'll see. If I throw in the Ichimoku, it's a Japanese charting technique that kind of tells us where the momentum is and where it's going. It uses 5 moving averages. So this is the conversion line is above the baseline, which is good, but the lagging indicator is below price, which is not bullish, and the cloud is red. Cloud typically acts as support and resistance. Obviously, since we are below the cloud, this will act as resistance, as it did here, So if we do retest this cloud, we're looking at 21,800, which would put us right in the range of what I talked about with the bull flag. So short term or long term, as far as momentum, I would say is negative. But in the short term, we might get a pump up to 22K. So kind of what Bitcoin's looking like.
All right. So let's take a wider look at the rest of the market here. We have Ethereum coming in at 1,300. This is hasn't been under 1,300 in quite some time. Obviously, with Bitcoin testing this 19K, it hasn't been under 19K. So, I'm afraid that if Ethereum breaks under 1,300, that it might not bounce back over that. I mean, the last time we were this low was September 28th.
There's a big move coming for Ethereum, man.
And so September 28th is the last time we broke under it, but it was short-lived. So, I mean, realistically, we've been over 13K the entire time this year, with the exception of 3 days. So 3 days, not even a full 24 hours. We traded under 13K. And so, post-merge, we've been discussing post-merge, the news of the upgrade being underwhelming as far as what the user is going to experience. Not too much has changed with Ethereum as far as its utility for the user or its transaction throughput. So it might not transition to.
Well, here's the thing: you're not going to have all that selling pressure from the miners now, and so that's going to help in the price movement to the upside.
But you still need new money coming in. And most of the time with Ethereum, the new money coming in is people scooping up Ethereum for transaction.
Correct.
And if there's not a ton of new utility, there isn't a bunch of new users transacting with Ethereum, I think that is what catapulted it to its rise with the rise of DeFi in 2020. And right now, DeFi is falling flat. The NFT market is losing wind, by the day. I mean, project after project in the NFT space that are Ethereum based are falling flat. There's only a handful of projects in the Ethereum network that are, NFTs that are holding their head above water.
Before you move on,
you have Cardano testing that 40.
Before you move on from Ethereum, I want to show my chart. ETH, guys, is getting ready for a massive move to the upside if this pattern plays out. So what's key about this pattern is on the daily chart. And so when you get these beautiful. This is a bull flag, by the way, where you see a move to the upside followed by a down trending parallel channel. And again, the way we measure, the way we see if there's a move coming is, I'll keep it simple. I'll hide this flag and I'll throw on the Bollinger Bands. So anytime you see these bands constrict, there is a big move that follows. You can see it here. And I mean, this is about as tight as it's going to get. If we take a look at the stochastics, we're kind of right in the middle, sitting at 30, around 40. So not oversold, not overbought. If we follow patterns, which I like to look at patterns, if you're here from the Lifer community, Crypto Lifer goes into much, much more detail than I do. But just to keep things simple, the width of this flag, of this channel here, we're looking at, and this is how we measure a move. You're looking at a 25% move if it plays out. Now, it's key if it plays out. Either way, there's going to be a big move from ETH coming. If it's a move to the downside, I'd be looking at this last resistance level, which is around, first stop would be 1255, second stop would be right at 1,000, which would put us right on that 25% mark. But if we move 25% to the upside and this bull flag plays out, and let's say we move, let's say we break out right around here, you're looking at a $1,850 Ethereum. Again, these are probabilities. Technical analysis is probabilities. Nothing is ever certain. And also, if you guys are here for Quant, we're going to get into Quant very, very soon. Full analysis on everything. And so that's kind of what I got on ETH. And then I know you were going to talk about Cardano, Robin, but since I'm on the...
I didn't have any narrative on the Cardano. I was just kind of pointing out in the same way I pointed out the Ethereum price. It is testing the 40-cent mark. I am lubing up the stable coins to get in there, on that Cardano, bro, at under 40 cents.
Now I got to go back into the YouTube settings and put not appropriate for children. Good job. Just kidding. Well,
I'm telling you, man.
Because if there's any...
How is there anything inappropriate about lubing up the stable coins, bro?
They're innuendos for kids. They can't do that. Anyways, I want to talk about XRP's chart, okay? So I've had...
No kids are watching our show.
You never know. There might be hey, there was a kid today. I saw it on Twitter. A kid had to do a report. It was like a 10 or 11-year-old, and his report was on crypto. So don't tell me kids don't watch crypto. All right. So I've had this bull flag on XRP. This is a 4-hour chart that's been on here for a while. We did break to the upside as I expected, and we might see the same thing happen again, right? We saw move to the upside, downtrending channel, move up again. And then now it looks like if we don't make a higher high here, if we don't break above 55 cents, and if we trend downwards again, we could be in for another bull flag, which would put us, which my target would be right at that 62 cents that Forrest talked about a week ago on our channel. So bullish price action coming for XRP as well, possibly. We'll keep an eye on this one, though.
All right. So real quick, I know some of you were here before, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all another shout out. We have Anthony.
This is going to be fun for you to try to...
Stooley. And then we got Michael Miller. I know he was here before. And then, we already said Anthony. And then Emery's back as well.
Let's see how you pronounce this name.
And then,
yeah, go ahead.
What is it?
Yeah, there you go. What is it, Robin?
Sibosisu in the house as well. My apologies if
I feel bad for laughing. Maybe I have a speech impediment.
And
I don't
then
know.
We got Chris Jordan. We got Quentin Johnson. And then who else? Crypto Tonight. And then Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, Crypto Billy just showed up as well.
What's up, CB?
Laura Marshall up in here. So cool.
Shout out to Crypto Billy.
And Mike says hola. All right, cool. And then lastly, going back into just the last overview on the charts here, we have the biggest gainers. Terra Luna Classic, the dollar peg stablecoin at 4 cents. Congratulations.
Check this out. Hold on. There was a new proposal to repeg this thing.
Oh, is that why this thing rallied?
This thing's pumping, yeah. There's a new proposal to repeg it. Guys, please, if you're a part of our community, don't mess with Luna Classic. Don't mess with UST. There are so many good projects you can scoop up at a good price.
I wonder what the 1 year chart looks like on this thing.
Like,
Weird
you
is.
you knew exactly what the 1 year chart looked like. You're an idiot, bro.
Here in Las Vegas, we do helicopter tours and also TA tours of the Grand Canyon, as you see.
Steep fall from grace, huh?
So,
Also, huge shout out to Sam Tomlinson. If you're from the Lifer community, you can literally thank this person right here. He is the one that kind of got the ball rolling, that kind of connected us with Lifer. And so, Sam, we appreciate you.
Crypto bubbles, a lot of red. HT
Helium?
up.
Oh, I thought that was Helium.
No, Helium
Wobie.
is not up.
Wobie, they made some big moves. They just brought on Justin Sun as an advisor. They created this new board. I believe they created a new board, or they already had it, but they brought on.
They sold.
Someone
got,
stepped down, I believe.
No, so with Hobie Global, what happened was there's now a new majority stakeholder, which is a banking firm in Hong Kong. And so there was a lot of speculation on who was going to buy up the Hobie platform. And it was rumored that it was going to be Justin Sun, which it wasn't. And it was also rumored that it was going to be Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. It wasn't. So that kind of debunked a lot of things, which is probably why, because I think there's a lot of fear behind that. Fear and greed, 22, kind of the same zone. Kind of curious to see if we dip under 20, if we dip under 19 today. What do you think? It updates in 6 hours. I got a few things to cover here. NASDAQ, S&P 500, Dow Jones, not far off of the zero mark, so pretty flat there. But let's take a look. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of buzz, a lot of big names are talking, a lot of people are getting in front of microphones that are legacy finance. We got Fed Evans says fighting inflation is the top priority, even if it means job losses. So
they want job losses.
Yeah, I think that's, but they're usually they try to like mask it and say like we have a strong job market and that we're going to preserve the Here they're literally saying like, you know what, we're going to lower this inflation. We don't give a damn. If people lose jobs, collateral damage, bro.
The term maximum pain is what everyone says we need to feel before we can come out of this thing.
That's a sharp contrast from their soft landing.
Well, the soft landing has been out of the cards for a long time.
I don't know. He was still saying soft landing 2 months ago, man.
Yeah, 2 months ago, bro. That's not. There's no way.
Anyways.
If you are hoping for a soft landing, you should take a cold shower. It ain't happening. There's no way a soft landing happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying, but that's still
unless they put the money.
Okay, their dumbass narrative is first of all, a year ago was inflation is transitory. When we were over 5% inflation, remember the baseline is 2%. We're over 5% inflation. They just quadrupled the money supply.
It wasn't even just from the Fed. It was the Treasury that's saying it was transitory too. So you have multiple government agencies.
And so instead of addressing the situation there, they were just brushing it off like it wasn't no big deal. Like, hey man, no, it's cool, man. We're good, man. Transitory. But like, I'm sitting back there. I'm like, what does transitory even mean? Like, I mean, I know what the definition of it is, but I'm like, inflation's up, man. Like, what do you mean transitory? It's here. I can buy less. It's like, ain't nothing transitory. This gas station ain't transitory. Like seriously. Like, inflation is here. And everybody knows inflation don't go away. You don't raise the price of a Big Mac and all of a sudden it's back down to 99 cents. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, well, I think this 2% inflation is going to go up to like 3% inflation. Their base level that they're happy with the Fed. And I think Emery kind of hit the nail on the head, said they want high employment so they can more easily transfer us to universal basic income. This has been talked about for years now, and the whole thing, you will own nothing and be happy about it. I mean, when you got these high net worth individuals just saying that freely and don't give a damn. I mean, and no one bats an eye. No bueno.
So the Chicago Federal Reserve president, Charles Evans, said the central bank is holding fast in its commitment to bring down inflation, even if it means people losing their jobs. Speaking 3 weeks before the Fed is expected to approve its fourth quarter 75 basis point rate hike again. So the expectation is still the 75 basis points. And then he also goes on to say that ultimately, inflation is the most important thing to get under control. That's job one. Price stability sets the stage for stronger growth. And then lastly, he says, if employment goes up, well, that sucks. If it goes up a lot, that's very difficult. but price stability makes the future better. So he says, if it goes up, that sucks. If it goes up a lot, well, it sucks even more. That's pretty much what he said.
Yeah.
So now people are reacting. First of all, let's go right over here. We got Kathy Wood. She sends an open letter to the Fed saying it's taking a risk, is risking an economic bust with all of these interest rate hikes. So she's on record saying that the Fed seems focused on two variables that, in our view, are lagging indicators: downstream inflation and employment, both of which are been sending conflicting signals and should be calling into question the Fed's unanimous call for higher interest rate hikes. And then she says, without question, food and energy prices are important, but we do not believe that the Fed should be fighting and exacerbating the global pain associated with the supply shock to agriculture and energy commodities caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Interesting. Now, I kind of side with her, but at the same time, I think she's putting a lot of focus on Russia. I think it's a little bit broader than that. I think the printing that we had combined with the China lockdowns, all of the helicopter
what percentage
money.
Did you give to Russia? The Russia-Ukraine war. What percentage of inflation?
About 35%. I think that's pretty reasonable.
I would say closer to 50%. Think about it, man. The whole gas and oil thing, that's mostly stems from Russia, yes?
The gas, yes. Oil, no.
Okay. Oil and gas.
They have the Russia implication has affected the price of a barrel of oil. That is correct. But it's not as dramatic as the gas one. Remember, Russia is I think they were number 5 on the global exports of oil. 1 and 2 was Saudi Arabia and U.S.
But they were number 1 in Europe, yes?
Not for oil, for gas, yes. So,
okay.
Saudi Arabia is still king.
Saudi Arabia is still king, okay. Then you have the whole exports of commodities, right? Wheat. Ukraine is the number 2 exporter of wheat, guys. Well, Ukraine or Russia, one of those two.
I was looking at some prices, and there was a story, and they were talking about the price of flour is, I think it's 3x since 2019. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then India, I believe, was number 1 or 2. They stopped export. It's just it was like a domino effect.
You can't discount what happened. Okay, the money printing, the airdrops of both Trump and Biden to the U.S. citizens in the form of paychecks, 3 of them. And then the supply chain issues, a lot of electronics they're all controlled by computer chips, and that mostly stems from the pandemic and the shutdown. And so, I don't know. Anyways, we could sit here and argue about this minute points of who's to blame, but it really doesn't address the issue. Taking a look at J.P. Morgan's Jamie Dimon warns that the U.S. is likely to tip into a recession in the next 6 to 9 months. Can we really take anything this guy says? I'm sorry to cut you off, but can we take anything this guy says as like... He's a very well-respected figure, man. I mean, he is the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase. I think he's missing a couple beats when it comes to what crypto is going to shape up to be in the future. But at the same time, when it comes to economics, I think he understands the broader cycles. And I think that he does. I think he makes a point that we're going to go deeper into a recession, and that sometimes you need some loud-spoken, people with clout to address these issues. So he goes out to say that the economy is actually still doing pretty well, and that at the present, the consumers were likely to be in better shape compared to 2008. But you can't talk about the economy without talking about stuff in the future. And he also says this is serious stuff. This is very, very serious things which I think are likely to push the U.S. and the world. And when he says the world, I mean Europe is already in a recession and is likely to put the U.S. in some kind of recession within the next 6 to 9 months.
That is so funny to me that the people in America are still saying we're not in a recession.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's all I got.
That's all you got. All right. Quant. A lot of people have been talking about Quant. When Quant? Well, Quant now. So if you are not familiar with our show, Every Monday, we have our man Forrest pick a coin that he feels deserves some in-depth analysis. And this week, he landed on Quant. And very interesting. It's about a 7-minute video. Then we're going to follow that up with an article from Yahoo Finance just to kind of put things together. So if you're a Quant fan, your time to shine. If you know a Quant fan, now would be the time to get him into this live show, share the stream. And without further ado, my friends, let's get right into it. And here is Forrest from Crypto Stackers Pro giving us a in-depth analysis on Quant. Please enjoy.
Why is Quant Network doing so well right now when the rest of the market is down? We're actually seeing Quant Network, or QNT here, up in the red easy band zone, which is historically a signal of being a little bit overbought. Why is there so much hype around QNT? Well, these 4 points here, I'm going to walk through them one by one in a very broad manner. I'm by no means an expert in in CBDCs or Quant Network, or from a technological perspective, I'm more of a technical analyst and a fundamental analyst, but it's very clear what is driving this narrative right now, and that's CBDCs. CBDCs are here to stay. They're not necessarily here yet, but they are coming. The narrative is here. The narrative is here to stay. And we are absolutely going to see country central banks issue CBDCs, and the infrastructure for that, a couple key players in the infrastructure for that are QNT, Chainlink, and Swift, right? Swift is kind of the existing platform for sending money for across the world globally. Swift has just recently undergone a large announcement or update that they're focusing on CBDCs. Chainlink just partnered with Swift, and QNT is an ISO 222 compliant cryptocurrency that may be used to manage or interlink cross-chain interoperability of CBDCs, allowing people to move CBDCs around the world very smoothly, right? So QNT is a key player in the CBDC narrative, which is picking up steam, right? We are not necessarily in a crypto narrative. We are not in a layer one smart contract network or Bitcoin or NFT narrative right now, but we are in the midst of a CBDC bid. Okay. The next piece, QNT has really good tokenomics, right? And this isn't about, being for or against CBDCs, right? If we just look at this objectively, QNT has really good tokenomics. 90% of the QNT out there is circulating, and it is hard capped at, I believe, 14.6 million. So the circulating supply is 13.4 million, of which there can only be a total of 14.6 million QNT tokens. This is very good in comparison to a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there. Okay. Not only that, but the actual use case for QNT, it's used to pay licensing fees, and it gets locked up and essentially can create supply, squeezes and or deflationary pressures. Not necessarily deflationary, but essentially it takes a lot of the QNT out of the circulating supply, which can push the price upwards. As I already mentioned, it's ISO 222 compliant. That just means it plays very well with the current legacy financial system, right? Nothing too crazy here. However, right, we know that if the legacy financial system is moving towards CBDCs, they're not going to be using cryptocurrencies or blockchains that do not comply with this standard, right? You want something that is going to play well with the existing legacy financial system, and that is ISO 222 compliance. Okay. Lastly, the founder. The founder is an absolute giga plugged into a lot of different stuff. He has incredible experience. He got to start as a consultant at Ernst & Young, EY. He's a member of the Federal Reserve in the U.S., or was at one point. He's got experience at MasterCard, BP, Ernst & Young, as I already mentioned, and he's in the cybersecurity space. There are probably very, very few people on this earth that Gilbert Verdian, this is the founder, cannot get in a room with to have a meeting or a discussion with. He's very, very plugged in, right? Beyond that, The technicals on QNT right now just look incredible. We're on the 4-hour chart. We could back out to the 1 day or the weekly, and this would look equally impressive. We have a massive inverse head and shoulders forming. We are pushing up into the red easy band zone, which is a signal that, hey, temporarily this is a little bit overbought. We'd like to pick this up at the 21-week simple moving average or below. The 21-week simple moving average is moving upwards and is currently around $90 or so. If this does get any type of pullback, I would expect, as long as this CBDC narrative continues to remain strong, and I don't see this relenting in any massive way anytime soon, right? We would expect buyers to start coming in at this support level again and pushing price back up. We know that it is a little bit riskier to buy cryptocurrencies while they're in their red easy band zone, but we also know that in a bull market, right, and we are in probably what we could consider a CBDC bull market as of now, right, we know that price action can sustain quite a long time in the red easy band zone. So I'm not saying anyone should ape here and jump into QNT, but I am saying the technicals look pretty solid, especially if we can break through this resistance level, this head and shoulders neckline, which you could argue that we potentially already have if you draw this as a kind of descending trend line here. We may have already popped up above it and made support and be moving higher. We know, right, that having these hard cap tokenomics with a large portion of the tokens already circulating is conducive to price action moving up very aggressively when there's increased demand. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing increased demand. We saw increased speculative demand in the bull market, and now we're seeing increased speculative demand in a cryptocurrency bear market, which is a very good sign for QNT that has kind of departed from the overall crypto space. It's decoupled a little bit. Now, something to be aware of in the shorter term is that we are seeing on the 4-hour here, at least, some bearish divergence. This is a little bit overheated. Maybe we have another leg up. You can print multiple, bearish divergences. On the 4-hour, especially before kind of crashing, but this is in need of a little bit of a washout or a correction here soon to reset RSI down to hopefully around the 50 zone. So QNT looking strong here, a little bit overbought, but overall a very, very strong cryptocurrency and a very, very strong narrative. And hopefully that sheds a little bit of light on why QNT is pumping right now and doing so well.
Wow. Okay.
That's cool, man.
By the way, if you're not familiar with Forrest, he was the former head of research at Token Metrics. He left, started his own YouTube channel, has a platform, Crypto Stackers Pro. Amazing. Kind of him and Lifer, and I would say Gareth, are some of my favorite TA because they don't just tell you price targets and this measure and this metric. They actually talk you through it and explain why maybe the price is moving this way or could move that way. So now, if you like the content, go check him out, Crypto Stackers Pro on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter as well.
What he was saying as far as charting is that he's expecting it to pull back to the
21 week or day moving average. But I think he was saying a good place to buy would be if it retracts back to that, but it might not. Who knows? But it looks like this might be the Cinderella of the bear market.
So yeah, I was here. I'm taking a look here. I pulled up the chart. So that I was interested to see what that was. So right over $100. So this is the 3-month chart here, just from CoinMarketCap. No TA available here, but yeah, right back around $105. I think would be a realistic buy spot. I do think even if it doesn't go all the way back down to $100, I see tons of touches here and resistance at 110. So I do think it could pull back there. So definitely probably get it in at a cheaper price. There's going to be a pullback.
I mean, you don't ever want to FOMO in when it's overheated, and we know with the bearish divergence, and you have quant trading in that red easy band area, there's gonna be a pullback. It's just the nature of of trading. There's pullbacks and there's moves to the upside. But before we talk about it, there's some news from Yahoo Finance I wanted to share. Quant to run the CBDC world. This is sourced from Yahoo Finance. Quant is positioning itself to become the glue that joins the world's public and private blockchains together. Their tech is to be utilized in the design of CBDCs, and it's important to remember their DLT over ledger or over ledger technology, I believe it's called, is patented. And it is seen as the gateway to interoperability between blockchains and is now in connection with a network of 570 banks. So, as Forrest said, CBDCs are here to stay. India is already launching a pilot program. Russia, I believe, it already has or is going to. I believe Brazil, same thing. CBDCs are here to stay, whether you like them or not. And it looks like Quant is in the lead, which to me is of no surprise. They're essentially a layer zero, a meta layer that is just a software layer where blockchains can build on top of it. And it seems like a lot of these are going to be government entities that build on top of Quant. And again, it is patent protected, so no one can go replicate it. On top of that, everything Forrest talked about with Gilbert Verdian, and he failed to mention that Gilbert served on the Queen's Treasury. So he's got a lot of plugs everywhere in government. Rob, are you hyper bullish on Quant? Like, what are your kind of thoughts with everything that's been laid out so far?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I forgot or just didn't really think about lately the circulating supply. So Quant was with circulating
14.6 million.
So 12 million right now. 14 is the max.
That's a tenth of ETH, you guys. That's a tenth of ETH.
That's even less than Bitcoin. Obviously, you're not going to see the price action you get out of Bitcoin. You know, there's not going to be a $19,000 Quant. At least not anytime in the foreseeable future. But, you know, 10x is definitely in the cards. I mean,
Quant, if Quant runs CBDCs, okay.
Oh yeah.
That is I would say that could be a 1 trillion plus.
Now here's the thing. Now they are positioning themselves, as you mentioned, to be a front runner in CBDCs. But my kind of thought behind this is that the CBDCs is going to be more or less a network of different cryptocurrencies and different blockchains all working in unison through a multitude of contracts that is going to be laid out by governments. And so I don't think, you know, it's going to be, hey, it's going to be all Chainlink. Hey, it's going to be all Swift. Perhaps Swift spearheads the CBDC. They partner with Chainlink, and then they use Quant, and they also use Algorand and some of their partnerships and technologies. Perhaps you start seeing some Ethereum in there. Some, you know, the never
importance is what token, right? Which of these tokens is gonna be the fuel to the whole system? That's what's important.
They're not gonna use a token for. They're just gonna use the rails. There's going to be, I'm telling you, there's not going to be one CBDC. Like it's a very complex network that ties in central banks, institutions, nation states. And then you also have all the trading platforms that you trade commodities on, like oil and gold. I would be hard pressed to find that it's going to be one cryptocurrency network that runs all of it, and that it's going to be some Ethereum style, like, hey, you need to pay for transactions. Like that's not how it's going to work. It's going to be an ecosystem of different, and it's the same way. Like you look at a blockchain when it comes to like these big layer ones, you look at them, look at the Cardano partnerships. Look at the Ethereum partnerships, like all of the companies, they have thousands of dApp developers. They have sometimes tens or even 100 different oracles working for them. It's going to look very similar when you go into the CBD market. You're going to have you're going to have
CBD or CBDC?
trillions of dollars of value moving around between nations, central banks, and what that's going to look like, it's going to be all hands on deck. It's going to be tons of technology. They're not going to put all their eggs in one basket and then have some kind of exploit or something happen, and then all of a sudden the global currency is crashing. Like, I mean, there's going to be somebody at the front of the pack, 100%. There's going to be somebody that it has does the most work. There's going to be somebody that is going to be, you know, known as the CBDC king or whatever it is, but it's definitely going to be a lot of behind the scenes, lots of different chains. I would expect 20 to 50 different crypto projects with their hands on deck if you look out about 10 years when this takes over. What do you think? You think it's just one chain to rule them all?
I don't know. I don't even know what that would look like, to be honest with you. So I'm not even going to comment on it. But if you were to say, yeah, there's one chain to rule all, I would say it's Quant, because it is the most interoperable, right? It's patent protected. You have a founder that's got vast amounts of experience and connections, and it's a software as a service. It's right. It's like someone mentioned, it's an ERC20 token, but they can move that at any point in time they wanted to. But if it is a multitude of chains and crypto projects, then again, I would expect someone like Quant to be the leader in the pack. And we can see that's where it is
I think
now.
As bullish as I am on Quant, I think Algorand stands the best chance of leading the pack when it comes to CBDC. I think they already have experience with it. They already partnered with banks that are facilitating cross-border payments. And
What about XRP, man?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they got to shake this lawsuit, bro. You can only go so far without shaking the lawsuit. So until you get that off of your back, that's like having your buddy. He's a lawyer, and you know he's gonna. Let's just say you have a friend, and he's got so much potential. He's got so much going for him. Like, you're like, yo, this dude's gonna be hella successful. Like, he's got he's got all these different partnerships, but dude's locked up on a DUI charge. Like, okay, like when he gets out, he'll be good. Like. But I'm just saying that, like, if I'm forward thinking about who's gonna take charge when it comes to the CBDCs and the rails that this is gonna use, I can't put XRP in the conversation until they handle the elephant in the room.
They're gonna handle the elephant in the room.
I mean, it's been 2 years, man.
Yeah,
I mean, who
lawsuits
knows?
take a long time.
I'm not saying.
My cousin just had a lawsuit
they're
go for
irrelevant.
4 years.
I'm not saying they're irrelevant, but who knows what that's even going to look like coming out of it? I mean, we're all under the assumption that the Ripple Labs is going to win this thing, which I lean that direction for sure. But you never know.
No one knows. It's all speculation.
It's in the United States Supreme Court for I forget which jurisdiction, but anyways, it's in a state Supreme Court or a federal court, or I don't know. Anyways, I don't know the jurisdiction.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the Supreme Court, my friend.
Is it a Supreme Court?
So, well, you're
there a
talking about
federal
the
court,
Supreme
circuit
Court.
court?
It's not in the Supreme Court.
No, it's not.
It's I believe in
Well,
the
no,
New York State level.
there's every state has a Supreme Court.
Correct. Yes. That's what I'm saying.
And-
It's not the
No,
Supreme Court.
no,
Yeah.
of course not. But either way,
that would take even longer.
so
Just
it's in a courthouse.
it's in a court somewhere.
Okay, it's in a courthouse. That's all you need to know. Okay, but the courthouse is run by the U.S. government, and they're getting sued by another branch of the U.S. government. So all I'm saying is that don't
And
be
the
surprised.
judge continuously rules in favor of Ripple.
Don't be surprised if you get a shock verdict. That's all I'm saying, man. Because I'm telling you,
That would
how
mean
many
someone got paid off, bro.
boxing matches have you seen where somebody was obviously winning, everybody, all the TV announcers, and then all of a sudden it comes in the other direction?
Listen,
how
bro,
many times have you watched a
if
court
the-
case
if the
and then
SEC
OJ gets
wins-
off, and then like I'm just saying,
If
that
the
history.
SEC wins, someone was coerced or manipulated, whether it's by I don't know. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. And just to close out this Quant topic, if you want to learn more about Quant, what it does.
OJ lives in Vegas too.
Maybe we get him on the show. If you want to know more about Quant, what it does, why we're so excited about it, we did do a video. It's actually our best performing video so far on this channel.
It's a little outdated, but
But it goes over the technology, and that hasn't changed. And so, if you want to know more about it, go check it out. It's on the top of our channel. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to some possibly worrying news when it comes to Bitcoin mining and the network. The difficulty soars on Bitcoin. This is sourced from Crypto Slate. Bitcoin mining difficulty saw its sharpest adjustment this year, increasing by 13%, the largest since July of last year. The hash rate also hit an all-time high at 240 exahashes per second today. The current miner revenue stands at 4 Bitcoin, or around $80,000 a day. 4 Bitcoin. If Bitcoin was at 50K, that would be fine, but Bitcoin is at 20K. And with energy prices expected to soar through the winter, miners could see their revenues drop even further. A couple of charts I have here. This is the mining difficulty, and you can see that massive rise we had on the far right here. Orange is mining difficulty. Black is the price of Bitcoin. So they are moving inversely, which is not a good thing. Also, miner revenue per exahash is at like literally all-time lows. You have miner revenue per exahash in orange, miner revenue per exahash in US dollar in blue, and then you have the price of Bitcoin in gray.
If you are running a business, this right here is your balance sheet. This is how much profit and loss you have. And at the bottom, the blue and the orange line is pretty much how much money you're going to be bringing in, right?
What's up?
Minor revenue is
so you have orange. Two. You have orange, minor revenue in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You have blue in US dollar.
So basically, you ain't making no money, bro. And the scary thing is that a lot of these mining companies leveraged a lot of debt to buy all the new ASICs, and they bought them at overinflated prices. They bought them when the price of Bitcoin was rallying, also when there was an extreme supply shock when it comes to computer chips. And so they probably overpaid for the ASICs. They probably have a ton of overhead and debt from these loans. And now
energy prices are up. Don't forget about that.
Energy prices are up.
And this is bad.
And on top of that, the Bitcoin mining difficulty is at all-time high. And price of Bitcoin is under 20K.
Guys, if you're not familiar with why mining difficulty is so important, it's essentially how much hash power you need to mine 1 Bitcoin. And as the difficulty goes up, it gets more difficult to mine a block and get the block rewards. And so when you have that, accompanied with high energy prices, accompanied with the network getting larger, accompanied with the Bitcoin price going down, is this going to make Bitcoin less decentralized, right? Who can survive this atmosphere, Robin? There is rumors and talks that Marathon Digital might be in trouble. Now, these are rumors, of course. They did have a large position in Compute North, which was a mining data facility, I believe the largest that went under, declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They had a big exposure to them. The Fed keeps hiking interest rates, so it becomes more expensive to borrow money to buy new ASICs to make them more cost efficient when it comes to energy usage. So you have so many things working against miners. Are you worried? I'm a little worried, man.
You know what? I actually found a corresponding video that helps explain what the Bitcoin mining situation is looking like, what we can predict out, and what is going to happen. And here's the video. To break this down, you have
what kind of video is this? What is this?
It's the dominoes falling, Brand. That's what's happening. You have the dominoes are falling. Like, be careful, because as the miners go bankrupt, as the price of energy goes up, as the profitability goes down, as miners are forced to liquidate, price is going to drop. As price drops, you're going to get
more miners,
even more miners. And this video says it all. There it is.
This is I'm a little
He's like,
concerned.
what is this? I'm like, it's dominoes. What do you think it is?
I am legitimately concerned, man. I'm concerned that there's only going to be 2 or 3 companies that are going to be able to withstand this atmosphere that the miners are in, right? Who has capital on hand right now to go out and buy more cost-effective ASIC units, right? they're going to keep unplugging. And again, with interest rates going higher, it gets more expensive to borrow money. These companies are not taking their own money and buying them outright. They finance them. They lease them. That's what they do. And if that gets more expensive and they look at, all right, we need this much power, hash power, to mine a block of Bitcoin and get the block rewards. How much does that equate to? Okay, that equates to $80,000 at current prices. Well, we're spending $180K on energy and overhead and this and that. We can't even make our money back, let alone be in profit. So what do? As a business, think about it. Do you say, okay, let's just keep going in, let's buy more, let's just sell everything and buy more ASIC units? Or I'm like, damn, man, we're going to have to start reassessing. We might even have to unplug completely. And then you're going to have some of these other companies that are in a better financial position that might come scoop it up at discount rate. And now you have Bitcoin. Is the network going to be controlled by three companies? Like, that would not be good, right? That would not be good.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's no better. Honestly, in my opinion, it's no better than we are off right now. I think 90% of the Bitcoin network is mined by was it like 12 different companies? So right now, there's not a lot of players, and I think what we're seeing now is the centralization. You're gonna have one to four big mining companies that control the network. And here's the thing. If you think that the laws of natural markets aren't going to affect Bitcoin, you're sadly mistaken. As one company gets more hash rate and they can buy, as one company mines more Bitcoin, they earn more block rewards, they buy more ASICs. What happens when you buy things in bulk? It gets cheaper, right? And you can price out the competition. So if I go over to an ASIC maker and I'm like, yo, give me $500 million worth of ASICs, you're going to get a better deal than the competition, right?
Yeah.
And then in turn, you're going to mine more Bitcoin. I'm just saying that the laws of natural markets are going to also be in play here when it comes to Bitcoin. And if people think that there's going to be this diverse mining thing going on, like, no. And that's why I'm kind of fearful of what Bitcoin's network is going to look like about 10 years from now. I mean, first of all, the hash rate is going to be so high, it's going to price out any like small company trying to get in. The barrier for entry to mine Bitcoin is going to be in the tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars.
I would say hundreds.
And you're going to have just a few companies controlling it. And then guess what? When a few mining companies control the Bitcoin network, it's going to be easier to get a BIP proposal passed. And I'm just saying, man, this whole idea, I know I'm kind of going off on a little tangent here, but this whole idea that Bitcoin can never change, there's no rules that can ever be passed, it's a godsend, and Satoshi nailed it on the head first time. Like, get out of here. You know what? Windows was an amazing program, but you got to update that damn thing every 3 years, even though I do not want to upgrade to a Windows 11. Windows 11, you will not touch my computer.
Well, thanks. All right, let's move on to some more Bitcoin news. A bug freezes Bitcoin inside of the Lightning Network for hours. Source from Protos. LND, which is one of the platforms that runs a Lightning network, their full node implementation, BTCD, had a bug in it. That was an implementation of the Taproot upgrade. The bug affected how Lightning nodes function and prevented users from exiting the layer 2 onto Bitcoin's mainnet, the layer 1. Researchers discovered the bug while testing the limits of Bitcoin scripting language. Now, in Lightning Network, it's a 2 of 2 multisig, right? They were testing the limits, 998 multisig, and that's what broke the LND, right? And so Robin talks about this all the time. It's a central entity, right? Lightning Network is essentially a central entity. So, I mean, is this worrisome? I'm not too worried because we know exactly why it happened, right? And it was fixed. But still,
the Lightning Network will be fine. I'm not even highly critical of Lightning Network. I know other people are. I'm more critical of what's to come with Bitcoin and their layer 2s, because I am afraid that institutions are going to use the layer 1 Bitcoin and launch their own products on there. And who knows what the hell they're going to be doing behind the scenes, because they're going to be operating all these transactions. Okay, let's just think about what happens with the Bitcoin network when you use the Lightning Network. Okay, you can process thousands of transactions per second. And Bitcoin, there's only a block produced. What is it? Every 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes? What? I forget the time. Anyways, unless whatever the block time is, it's in minutes for Bitcoin. And the Lightning Network is processing thousands of transactions per second. All it's doing is it's facilitating a bunch of transactions between other people. And then at the end of when they go to do the block, they just stamp it on the block, all the transactions. But what people fail to realize is that that is not a Bitcoin transaction. And if the company, even though the Lightning Network isn't controlled by a company, but let's just say a company is running a layer 2 on top of the Bitcoin network, there's so many points of failure there. You're basically just trusting this company to facilitate all those transactions. And at any point in time, they could, go under, have a failure, lose your money. And it kind of destroys. So on one end, the funny thing is that the Bitcoin maxis, on one hand, they sit here and they talk nothing but crap about altcoins, about all other technologies. And then they sit here and they prop up these layer 2s as though they're the same as Bitcoin. It's like, it's worse than the altcoins. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're talking about centralization, and that's not what Satoshi wanted. Like, why would you use all these other...
That's what the Lightning Network is.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying it's bad.
That's what I'm saying.
But Bitcoin maxis, you can't have your cake and eat it too,
right. No cake.
You say the same thing.
No barbecue chicken pizza cake. I think for my birthday, I'm going to do that. Get a barbecue chicken. Not actual,
chicken
but
cake.
it looks like a barbecue chicken pizza, but it's a cake.
I won't come.
Put a 1 in the chat if I should do a barbecue chicken pizza cake. Let me know. Well, it's a cake, but it's going to look like a pizza, but it's cake.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
What are you going to have, like a chicken wing on top for a candle?
I know we have a lot of new people.
You like
Guys,
the wing?
let me give just real quick. Let me take a real quick break. I know we have a lot of new people in here.
Okay.
If you're wondering why we keep talking about freaking barbecue chicken pizza, why I ask every guest about barbecue chicken pizza, we were in Atlanta visiting BitBoy, okay? And we went to a restaurant, and it was a pizza place. I ordered a barbecue chicken pizza. And Rocco, who is a native Italian, born in Italy, the place of pizza, saw me eat this pizza. Well, he saw when it hit the table, and he looked like he was going to strangle me like Joe Pesci does in the Casino movie with floss. And so ever since then, there's been a back and forth about barbecue chicken pizza. Robin and Rocco are against it. Me and Jason are for it. Right, Jason? Jason said, "Yeah, man."
I would be more.
Lifer loved barbecue chicken pizza.
I will say
That's all I'll
this.
say.
I will say this. I would be more open to barbecue pizza if they use like some actual homemade barbecue sauce, because I feel like every barbecue pizza, they just get that stuff. It's like it's ketchup with like soy sauce coloring, and they just pour this thing on the pizza, and then they add a bunch of sugar. And
So you're assuming that all the barbecue chicken pizzas I eat are...
Yes, 100%. Because that's the thing. Ain't nobody out here running a nice pizza shop making homemade barbecue sauce. So what they're doing is they're getting that high fructose corn syrup and all that soy sauce, that Worcestershire, and they're adding that to that crust.
That's not Worcestershire, it's Worcestershire.
Where's your sister?
Worcester's house. I think it was on TikTok or something. Anyways, we're getting a lot of
Mark, $20 super chat. Muchas gracias.
Take Jason out for a drink and a smoke. Cigar. Okay. Or what kind of smoke you talking about? Anyways.
Cigars are expensive, man. Me and Jason were the cigar.
You're just cheap.
$35.
You're just cheap.
But you know what? Your boy...
you're a cheap ass.
He's kind of like a celebrity because I walked in there. I didn't even have to pay for my cigar. He was like, "Cigars on me, sir." I'm like,
you're cheap. And you still complain about $35 cheap ass. All right.
Wait, it was $0.
We have a couple more news topics to talk about, so let's keep the show moving here. The Helium token was delisted by Binance. This is a source from the Daily Huddle. Binance delisted HNT's main trading pairs last week with no specific explanation. According to Binance spokesperson, HNT doesn't meet their high standards of being listed on their platform. This next is a quote from Scott Seigel, who is the COO of the Helium Foundation, said, quote, "There is no basis for Binance to delist several HNT pairs. There has been no change to the integrity of the Helium token, and it continues to meet all of the standards the exchange sets." What's funny to me, okay, is HNT gets delisted, but Luna Classic gets relisted. On top of that, Binance goes in and they start burning Luna Classic tokens. Make it make sense to me, okay? I'm not saying Helium Network is perfect, and there might be some things under the surface that we don't know about yet, okay? But surface base level, what the hell is going on?
Bro, you caught me off guard there, bro. I was gonna say something like, well, I'm sure there's something going on behind the scenes. Maybe there's some SEC like
am I missing something?
Maybe SEC's like is nudging Binance or inquiring about HNT, but man, you just invalidated everything I just said, or everything I said in my head before I said it. Was that
Feel free to share it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, you make a good point. All that's irrelevant. How the hell are you going to delist HNT, but you just listed Luna Classic, and you went out on a promotional campaign talking about burning Luna Classic.
Yeah.
You were literally advertising that you were burning Luna Classic, and now you're going out saying, HNT is a little too risky for our users. What?
Doesn't meet our standards. What are your standards, Binance? What are your standards? Please enlighten me. But HNT was, no, that wasn't HNT. That was pumping. That was HT. I don't have much else to say. It's just surprising to me.
I had all kinds of conspiracy theories going through my head, and I was like, well, they probably delisted it because of, and I'm sure, but yeah, it doesn't even matter. You got all kinds of scam tokens on your damn on your platform, and you're delisting HNT. I'm sure there's something behind it, but
there has to be, right? I mean, there has to be.
Honestly, I wouldn't. Most people.
Let me see where
I was gonna say is that most people probably assume that it's some regulatory issue and that it's maybe the SEC or maybe the European Union looking into HNT. That's what people would think. But let's not forget what's happening. Binance is a business, and maybe they were supposed to provide X amount of liquidity, or maybe they were supposed to have some kind of funding round with venture capital. I bet you anything that some deal got soured behind the scenes when it comes to HNT and Binance, and that's probably what happened. That would be my guess. And this is all just hypothetical speculation, throwing stuff at the wall. But let's not forget, these are all, especially these exchanges, they have a lot of partnerships with these chains. There's a lot of deals going on behind the scenes that we are not seeing at face value. And you know what? If they did a number on Binance when it comes to fulfilling some expectations, don't be surprised. They're like, oh yeah, we're protecting our investors. We're delisting. And
I'm just looking for where HNT is on the coin market cap. So we're looking at,
I think it's
number 65. So it's in the top 75, and you delisted it.
Remember that HNT just had a partnership with
T-Mobile,
Verizon,
T-Mobile. I believe it was T-Mobile. I'm almost positive it's T-Mobile. And chat, if I'm wrong, correct me, please.
Verizon.
I could be wrong. I thought it was. Anyways, now. Should we go over this, or should we save this for tomorrow? It's not very time sensitive. What are you feeling?
Save it for tomorrow.
Save it for tomorrow? All right. All right.
Guys, before we move on, I will say I will be on Around the Blockchain today.
That's right.
And so make sure.
Oh, and Forrest will be on too, guys. There you go. Support Forrest and Robin.
So I'll be on Around the Blockchain. So make sure you come out there, drop all those +1s in the chat. Also, go support BitBoy and Ben. He's helped us out a lot in our growth. Yeah, go over there, support the channel, support us.
That's
Drop
right.
the ones in the chat. Also, go support our merch store. They do not have the Devontae Adams shirt. I'm only wearing it because
you're gonna lose tonight.
the Raiders are playing the Chiefs today.
Suck. You guys are gonna get walloped. How's he gonna get destroyed? Anyways, hate the
crazy.
Raiders. Also,
You
follow
crazy.
us. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikToks. We do shorts and all that fun stuff. Also,
And,
join our Discord.
You never know who we might get for an interview. We are going to a convention today.
Yes. Oh,
Big names there.
Huge.
And
As Donald Trump would say, that's huge.
maybe we'll get a microphone in somebody's face.
China. And also, join our Discord, Community Ran Discord. Our friend Marky Mark set it up. He is Sin City Crypto in the Discord chat, so not to be confused.
Yeah, the comment is pinned on the top of the chat.
That's right. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Also, if you're new to our community, welcome. We like to have a lot of fun here, bring you crypto insight. I know we have one of the best crypto communities out there. Very engaging, friendly, very giving as well. So thank you guys so much. With that being said, Rocco. Friends, family, friends of family, and family of friends, we thank you guys so much for joining us today, starting your week off with Sin City Crypto. On behalf of myself, Robin, the Don, and Jay Squires, we love you guys. We will see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Las Vegas Pacific Standard Time. Until then, take care. Peace. It's never muted when we come up. Too late. I'm not going to go over all that. Anyways, you're welcome, Randy. Thank you, my friend. Redman, get out of here. Raiders. So, Rocco looks different. Yeah, he has been working out. Dude's getting jacked. See you later, Salvatore. Salvatore Militello. I feel like you deserve at least one person to pronounce your name correctly. Laura Marshall. Thank you so much. New member of our community. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. We're about to eat some pastries that Jason bought. So we will see y'all. We will see y'all tomorrow. Love you guys.